Welcome to the Divorce Survival Guide podcast, where we have open and honest conversations about co-parenting, separation, divorce, and the hardest question of all, should you stay or should you go? I'm Kate Anthony, your divorce survival guide, and I'm here to help you navigate some of the roughest waters you've ever swum in and answer some of your toughest questions. I've been to hell and back, and now it's my mission in life to help you get to the other side of this process with your sanity and your heart intact.
Hey everyone, I am recording this on Wednesday morning, November 6th at 8:49 a.m. And the election results are in, and what I consider to be the worst has happened. And if you're listening to this podcast, my guess is that you feel similarly. And I had a podcast episode all lined up for today, and it just felt wrong to really air anything other than an acknowledgement of what has happened in the last 24 hours. Also to say that however you are processing this and whatever you're feeling is correct, is okay. I know people right now who are having trouble getting out of bed. I know people who are clinging to hope. My ex-husband texted me this morning and said that he was rereading Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, which is about finding hope from a man who was in a concentration camp in Austria during World War II. And that's what he needs right now. He needs to cling to hope. And I have no idea. I am numb. I'm in shock. I really honestly didn't believe this would happen. I certainly didn't believe it would happen in the numbers that it happened, and the demographics that it happened from. I am really, really sad to live in a country that really doesn't value the lives of women, of queer people, trans people, other marginalized groups. And I shouldn't be shocked by it because this country was built on the foundation of just that. This country was built on the foundation of slavery and genocide and white supremacy. And here we are. And so, one could say that the experiment failed. If democracy at the level at which America attempted to create it was an experiment, it appears to have failed, and we'll see, right? Maybe we will prevail. I'm not feeling all that hopeful today. So if you're here for hope, sorry. Just got to be honest. And I have been lying in my bed, staring out the window, thinking about you guys and thinking about what this means for women, what it means for our reproductive freedom, what it means for our marital freedom. Project 2025 is pretty damn clear on all of the rights it wants to strip us of, including the right and ability to divorce without having to prove extreme fault and duress and abuse, essentially. I mean, unless you are kind of being beaten within an inch of your life, probably they don't want you getting divorced. And even then, I mean, J.D. Vance was pretty clear on that. So there's a lot at stake. It's not at stake anymore. There was a lot at stake, and America chose. And I think we have to live with that. And it was one thing to make this choice in 2016 where we were like, oh, he can't really. And it's another thing entirely to make this choice in 2024 because things have gotten much more clear. And there's nothing covert about any of this anymore. And I know a lot of you are triggered by the fact that a toxic abuser, convicted rapist, has been elected into the highest office of the land. Hearing his voice, I can't turn on the news. I usually listen to NPR. I don't watch cable news, but I do get my news from NPR, and I didn't turn it on today because I just can't. I can't hear him. By the way, those of us who grew up in New York City have been subjected to this man for our entire lives. So, I mean, it's enough. Point being, whatever you feel today, if you are reading people's calls for, hope and the rallying cries for reaching out to people and that we have to keep fighting and all of these, whatever it is, and you're just like, I fucking can't. Same, girl. Same. As I said, whatever reaction you're having, whatever response you're having, however you're feeling right now, it's okay. If you need to take a day off of work, take a day off of work if you're able. If you need to bury your head under the covers and binge eat and binge watch Netflix, great, do it. If you need to stay busy and you need to sort of keep pressing ahead so that you can stay sane, do that. There's no wrong way to be today. There is no wrong way to be at all. There is a slogan out there about chop wood, carry water, right? And I think our version of chop wood, carry water, what I understand that to mean, I haven't done any research on it, but I'm assuming, and I'm sure it comes from something specific, but the chop wood, carry water is sort of, it's like, what do we have to do? What's in front of us? We got to chop wood, we got to carry water if we were settlers. But for us, it's like, okay, make your bed, eat something. I just had some toast today. That's all I've had, and coffee. Try to do the barest minimum for yourself to survive in this moment. Try to answer your children's questions as best as you can. I think it's important for us right now to not scare the living shit out of our children. I think we can't lie to them, but we also need to assure them that we'll do whatever we need to do to protect them. If you have queer or trans children and you are in a state in which they're not safe, I would love to be able to say, get the fuck out of there. And you may have to. And you also may not be able to. And so what does that mean for you and your children? And if they're scared, they have every right to be. And so how do you support them and help them feel safe in an environment that may not be safe? What I will say is what I feel today, and to the men who are listening, if you are not part of this, then God love you and please work harder for us. But right now I'm feeling that men are not safe. And I feel that, on a daily basis in general, based on my experience and what I hear from all of you. But if you are feeling as I am right now, because looking at the demographics, looking at the voter, demographics, that men are not safe, including, Latino men, Black men who voted overwhelmingly against their interests. If you are feeling unsafe right now, I think you have absolutely every reason to feel that way. And what I will say is that if you are contemplating divorce, if you are married to a toxic abuser, my guess is they are going to start feeling really emboldened right now. They are going to be feeling that their power and control is even more powerful than it has been, that their rights to your body, your time, your labor, your servitude is more warranted and more lauded. And so if you are considering getting divorced, if I were you, truly, I think we need to start thinking about filing before January 6th or whatever day inauguration day is. I think you have 2 months to make this decision and to file some paperwork. I don't think this is going to get any easier. And I also don't think it's going to get any more safe. I think we are looking at an increase in levels of domestic violence. We're looking at an increase in levels of domestic terrorism and all sorts of other things. Over the next 4 years, Donald Trump is going to appoint more Supreme Court justices. They're going to be young, the way that Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh are. They are going to rule the court for at least the foreseeable future, well beyond Trump's term, if indeed he steps down at the end of his term. The point is that this is not a 4-year problem. This is going to be a national problem for probably the rest of our lifetimes. If you want out, my love, and you're contemplating it, you're thinking about it, you're concerned, you're confused, it's time to get clear. It's time to realize that, when the sort of screws get tighter on our rights and our ability to choose what we want for our lives, this is just going to get harder and harder. So I urge you to really think about that. If you want a safe place, please come to Phoenix Rising. Please. I mean, I'm not fucking around here. I'm not talking about for my own monetary gain. I'm not my goal is to keep women safe right now. So if you are contemplating divorce and you need to get through this and you're fucking terrified right now and you're triggered and all of the things, find a support group, find a support system. If it's Phoenix Rising, great. That's just the one that I run. Whatever it is, if it's your local moms group, my local moms group is amazing. It's very small. It's very intimate. We are all on the same page, and there is tons of support there. Find your people, find your support systems, and lean into those as much as you possibly can. Like I said, however you feel today, whatever you are capable of today is enough. Whatever you're capable of tomorrow and the next day, it's enough. And when you are ready, believe me, the fight will be waiting. I am attending the ACLU Bill of Rights Awards dinner on Sunday, and I was really looking forward to it being celebratory. And then this morning I kept thinking, I don't want to go. How are we going to do this? How are we going to all gather? And then I realized that that is actually where I'm going to find hope. I'm going to find hope in a room full of the biggest activists we have in our country. I'm going to find hope with the people who are doing the boots on the ground work and telling us what to do and how to do it. And I will pass that along when I get that information. I am also very strongly considering my use of social media these days. You may have noticed I'm really not on Instagram. I'm barely on Instagram. I do post on my personal Facebook page, but I don't know how safe this is going to be for much longer for people like me. So I may end up sending more, emails or something. I don't know what I'm going to do. But when I find out what the ACLU and our incredible pool of activists and people really making a difference in this country want us to do, I'll let you know what their calls to action are. In the meantime, rest, take care of yourself, take care of your babies, and more will be revealed. That's all I got today. I love you guys so, so very much.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Divorce Survival Guide podcast. If you like what you hear, head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in and leave me a review. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the Divorce Survival Guide. I'll see you next time, and until then, remember, you, my love, deserve to be happy.